do is obviously get started on our bacon, because that's the thing that typically takes the longest when you're doing a BLT. So anytime I am making bacon, whether I'm doing it on the stove or in the oven, I always start it cold. I don't put it into a hot pan, I put it into a cold pan. So I have got 6 strips of bacon here, and I'm just gonna add that into my cold pan. Now, the reason that I do this into a cold pan is bacon obviously is a pretty fatty meat. There's a lot of fat going on in there, and if I were to put this into a hot pan immediately, what can tend to happen is it's almost like the outside crisps up, goes golden brown, and it locks all that fat in, so it doesn't render out and get crispy and chewy. It just gets kind of like burny and fatty, which is not exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna add that right on into the pan, and then I'm gonna turn the heat on to medium. So there it goes, medium heat. What that's gonna do is the bacon is going to slowly melt out all of that fat and then start to crisp up. So that not only is gonna give you perfectly crisp and chewy bacon, it's also gonna give you a lot more fat to work with, which just pop it in an apple juice can in your fridge.
Yeah.
Do apple juice cans still exist?
I think they do.
Do they? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, uh-oh. Because I was like, where do you put your bacon fat? 100%. So pop that in. You can use it for cooking later. It's absolutely beautiful. But this bacon needs, once it comes up to temperature, I would say 3 to 4 minutes per side. But again, you have to wait till it comes up to temperature and that melts out. If you wanted to do this in the oven, you could definitely do that. Just pop it on a sheet pan, again, into a cold oven. Turn the heat on to 350, 400, whatever you want. When it comes up to temp, put a timer on for anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes and you'll have perfectly crisp bacon.
That's amazing.
Now, as you can see, I'm putting a lot of pepper on this bacon.
I'm down with that.
We like smoky heat.
Yes,
It's so nice.
it's so good. Now, if you wanted to, you could also add a little bit of maple syrup once this is crisped up, and or Montreal steak spice.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
See, now, you know when you rewrite a recipe as you're making it? You're like, maybe I should have done that.
So many options.
Right? There's so many options. So we've got that bacon doing its thing, but now we gotta get to work on our mayonnaise. Now, if you don't wanna make mayonnaise, that's fine. Just use a good old jar from the store. But mayonnaise is actually really simple to make if you've got a couple of tools. So the first thing I have here is an immersion blender. And I also have the little cup that it comes with. Now, you wanna use the cup that it comes with or like a smaller jar or a thinner jar, because you want something where the bottom of it is just a little bit bigger than the head of the immersion blender. Because when you're making mayonnaise, typically you're using a whisk and you're whisking constantly, because what you're doing is you're making an emulsion, kind of similar to a salad dressing. You're trying to make something that's watery, eggs, and something that's oily, oil, come together into something that doesn't split. And it's a little bit tricky. But making sure that happens, a little bit of science with the immersion blender will be perfect. So we've got our cup here. I'm gonna go in with an egg. I like a whole egg mayonnaise. How do we feel? Yeah?
Fine.
Maybe? Feeling it?
Keeps it nice and easy, too.
Easy,
No
that's the thing.
separation. Yeah.
And I find that the albumin and the egg white, that little bit of extra protein just holds everything together. All right, into there, we're gonna go in with about a tablespoon of some Dijon mustard.
Yum.
That'll be absolutely beautiful as well. I love Dijon. Andrea Bucket's here, so you have to use Dijon.
Gotta use it. Gotta use
It's
it.
kind of the rule. So in we go with about a tablespoon of that. Now, the Dijon's gonna give a little bit of flavor, but it's also gonna help emulsify everything and hold everything together. I'm also gonna go in with just a little bit of lemon juice, just about a tablespoon of that as well, right on in. Then what you need to do is pop that immersion blender in and put it all the way onto the bottom. That's what you wanna do.
Classic.
Classic. Don't move it, don't touch it. Just put it like that. Now we're gonna go in with a cup of oil. I'm just using a canola oil here, just a neutral flavor, and just kind of slowly pour that in. Now the only weirdly kind of specific part of this recipe is once that oil is in, let this sit for about 15 seconds and settle. So while we're waiting for 15 seconds, Andrea Bucket, I have a question for you.
Oh no, I feel like I'm on the hot seat.
You are in the hot seat. You recently posted a story or a video where you were talking about how you don't love a mayonnaise on a tomato.
What?
Tell me more.
You know what? Okay, guys, I do love mayonnaise. I have it in my fridge. I use it often.
Yeah.
But I love a tomato that's fresh, just drizzled with some olive oil.
yeah.
Just a hint of salt. It's kind of like a bruschetta vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little grated garlic. Honestly, there's nothing better in the
But
fall.
on a sandwich?
Yes. Well, it's kind of bruschetta-ish.
Yeah.
But you put a top on it.
Yeah, I do.
See? I like it. No, but I also like, I like that you grate the garlic onto the tomato. What I typically do is rub it onto the toast, but this
Yes.
is giving a good punch of garlic.
It
Andrea
is, but
Bucket.
you know, Mary, we go back and forth. We do lots of different recipes.
100%.
We have lots of different flavors. We have seasons of what we do.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I know you will eat, you like a mayonnaise, you're like me, but I
100%.
was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna get gut from Andrea Bucket, because I was like, we love that oil too. All right, so this has been sitting for about 15 seconds. I think it was perfect amount of time. But basically what we want to do now is turn this immersion blender on with it still holding onto the bottom, and then we're going to slowly lift it up, hopefully get a perfect emulsion.
This is high pressure.
This is high pressure. I'm very nervous. Okay, here we go. So we're starting, and we're going to slowly lift it.
Beautiful.
Slowly. Oh, this is pretty good. We're feeling pretty good. And just slowly lift it up. That oil is like emulsifying in, and then there you have it.
Beautiful.
You want to see how not confident I was? I was so not confident. I had mayonnaise right here just in case. But we are good to go. All right, I'm going to season that up with a little bit of salt. And if you want here, you could put in some garlic. You could do a little bit of pesto, a little bit of chipotle and adobo. But that, to me, is absolutely beautiful mayonnaise. So now we're just going to build up a sandwich. So I've got my tomatoes here. If you wanted to, you could use heirloom tomatoes if you can find them. Typically, lately, I've been finding them in the grocery store, and they're $1 gajillion. So you know what? Just use a classic farm fresh tomato. Give it a good thick slice. If your knives are not the sharpest in the world, use a bread knife. This is one of the instances where a bread knife is perfect because those serrations are going to get into the tomato. If you don't have a bread knife for whatever reason, one of my tips is the sharpest part of your knife will be this end because you don't use it that much. So if you start cutting on the back end, you'll be able to get in and then slice through. So, fun fact with Mary. I love it. Okay, then we've got our beautiful bread here. I'm just using a sourdough. I'm going to go on with a good helping of that beautiful mayonnaise.
And it's so cost effective,
It's so cost effective.
Making your own mayo.
I heard someone laugh because they were like, "That's a lot of mayonnaise. Welcome to my kitchen." A lot of mayonnaise. A little bit of mustard as well. You could go on with smooth. I'm going to do a mixture of smooth and grainy. A little bit of pop right there. Give that a smear. And then this is my only bone to pick with a BLT. The order of the BLT is wrong.
Okay.
You never do lettuce in the middle. It's never bacon, lettuce, tomato, right?
No, you're right.
No.
How do
you're right.
It's always lettuce
First.
First, thank you. Okay, we're all in agreement.
Creates
Lettuce
a little
down.
bit of a bed.
Exactly.
The rest of the ingredients,
Then to
right?
be honest, then I would do tomato.
Yeah, I would. That's
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Guys, we're changing the game. It's a BTL now.
I got to think about this.
Yeah, let's do this. Then I'm gonna go on with that bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pop
look
that
how
on.
crispy that is.
Right? Beautiful.
It didn't shrink very much
It doesn't
either,
shrink
yeah.
much at all. Give that a slice in half, and you have got one heck of a beautiful BLT. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.